Coach, start with the Bahamas. What'd you learn? I assume a lot good, but good or bad. What'd you learn in tough games?
Yeah, I think our guys, learned a lot about their ability to compete at a high level. We played 3 really quality teams in 3-day span, and got put in some adverse situations with the 3 overtimes. And from a coaching staff perspective, team perspective, I think we got a lot of valuable things that we could take from it, good and bad. But overall, I thought the guys really competed and did some good things.
Size there, and you're going to get a lot of it with these guys. I think they get 8 guys on their roster, 6'8" or taller. Your thoughts on dealing with that?
Yeah, that's probably the part I was most pleased with. I thought Monty did a really good job of handling his own at 6'7" against some legitimate size every single night. I thought the rest of our team really has bought into the team rebounding and getting everybody involved and helping. Even on post-up situations, not leaving him just on an island by himself and giving him some support there. It's helpful he stayed out of foul trouble, which is a big deal too. And even, our last game not having Eduardo made us even, more undersized. And I thought Harris came in and gave us some good quality minutes to spell Amani. So that was the piece that maybe we hadn't seen yet. How do we do, in 3 straight nights playing teams that like to throw it inside too. So I was pretty pleased with how we handled that.
You're going to get it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get a heavy dose of it tomorrow too. I don't think they're going to not throw it inside. So got a really good post presence and we're going to see it all year, to be honest. So got to continue to get better at it. There's some things we can improve on there, but I think the biggest part was just Amani learning how to play a little bit better in the post without fouling, and he's done a good job with that for the most part.
Andre or Stone?
Stone's still day to day. He's in a pretty good spot, I think, but we'll see come tomorrow.
Is Jayden doing anything? Is he allowed to shoot, walk around, practice, anything?
He's doing some things to try to get himself back right now. So he's progressing.
Defense doubling down is obviously a pretty big part of that. Do you have hard and fast rules on who you double down on, or where that comes from? Is some of it left up, player determination? How does all that work?
Yeah, we have a few things that we worked on all summer long. We knew we were undersized, so we have multiple ways that we can go provide help when needed. We try to have it more of a game-by-game kind of situation, what we feel like would be the best for us in that particular game to provide some help. So, we can come big to big. We can come, off the passer. We can come, with maybe a non-shooter or guard from the other side, and that'll be a game prep deal that we'll have maybe a couple different ways each games that we'll try to come at it, or we'll just choose to play it straight up one-on-one and go that route.
Coach, you mentioned Jayden Eduardo. Would he be available tomorrow, or?
He's going in that direction, so we'll see after today's practice and things.
Did you take advantage of this week? What would you get accomplished?
Some rest. Yeah. We traveled back on Saturday, so that was a long travel day. We got delayed coming out, so Saturday we didn't do anything. Sunday was basically just a recovery day. Monday practice, and then Tuesday was off. So we needed to get our legs back a little bit because that was not just 3 games. It was 3 and change. So, but the guys feel good. I think they feel back refreshed and ready to go. Excited to be back at home again, and got another really good opponent coming in here. So, looking forward to that.
Gold Rush tomorrow. Interested to see the type of environment tomorrow with a named team like Georgetown coming in here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Our staff, our team's excited. This will be the first time really we get a really full crowd and get to see what the Coliseum has to bring. So we're excited about that. It is a big game for us. Georgetown is obviously a playing really well, got a good record. They're excited and doing some good things. So it's a great game for our fan base and a great challenge for us as well.
Coach, over the years, or the last decade really, there's been tons of these conference challenges, and they've kind of shifted between the conferences. Obviously your years at Drake, and maybe you had some experience with it at Creighton. What were your thoughts, if any, on ACC, Big Ten, or SEC, Big 12? Or did you even follow it, or from the outside, did it interest you at all? Or?
Yeah, we followed it. We even at our level, you would have the bracket busters. That was a long time ago, but some of the Mountain West, Missouri Valley challenges too. So there's some good things about them. They're exciting for leagues to kind of play each other and see what that is. But there's also some hard parts about it. You don't get to control much of the travel, home, road, those type of things. So I believe this is the last year of it. So we'll see what that means moving forward.
I think whether or not a conference wins or loses a challenge, is that a real valuation of just how good that conference may or may not be?
I think every game is probably just on its own entity, to be honest, like home, road, matchups, those type of things. So you certainly want to do well as a league, but I think you want to do well every single night you're playing another non-conference opponent. Yeah, we want to do well. That's obviously the goal, is we want to win as many games as a league as possible. So we get in league when we get into league play, we have as strong a position as we can when you start talking about at-large possibilities.
It seems like once you get to maybe late February, there's always that discussion, which conference is the best, which I've always kind of, a conference doesn't get a trophy for being the best. So I've always kind of wondered if that stuff is just moot.
No, I do think there's some pride the league takes in wanting to win or win the challenge or whatever. But again, individually for us, it's about us taking care of trying to win our 40 minutes, and that's our biggest concern.
Can there be too much read into this? They're pretty matchup driven. Some are good matchups, some aren't. The totality of them. Everybody says, well, they look at the number, but you can read more into that, can't you?
Yeah, I think every year it's just such a wide range, especially now, like with the matchups, like who knows who's going to have what each year with transfers in the portal. So again, our focus is on Georgetown, great opponent, and looking forward to playing on Friday.
Coach, when you have to build a roster through the portal like you did, I would assume you can't be picky. But it does, talking to the guys, it seems like this team has a real identity, and their personalities are really similar. Just, when you have to bring in a dozen or more guys, can you be picky about stuff like that?
Yeah, actually, I would say the opposite. We were incredibly picky of making sure that we got the guys in here that we felt like were a great fit for, our program, our school, and fit the, how we want to play, and making sure that pieces all kind of complement each other. I thought that was going to be really important as we were putting a roster together, not to have, 8 4-men and then have no guards and vice versa. So trying to find a good balance in that first year of, hey, we got, guys we really feel good about. They're excited about being here, want to be a part of it, and could complement each other in a good way.
What do you see with Sober, I think, the freshman from Georgetown, 6'10", freshman, looks pretty good so far.
Yeah, he's good. They throw it in there to him. He's been really efficient down there, effective finishing around the rim. He can step out a little bit too. So, another big challenge for us. Yeah, he's a good player.
PVFs and Mac, they're big 3-point guys. That's the guys you got to watch.
Yeah, they're very good scorers. They're very aggressive. They're hard to, especially you got 3 of them out there with an inside presence, so that certainly creates some challenges, for your defense. But they're, they can go get a bucket on their own, or they can get it within the framework of a lot of the sets they run, and they run a ton of sets. So there's a lot of different ways that they try to get guys going.
So far this year, you've had all these firsts, right? And opportunities to see your team and how they perform, respond. Is this like another one of those, like first one after the Bahamas and the success there? How do you handle success? You saw what happens for defeat, right? I don't know, like I guess, is that accurate? And then what do you look forward to? What do you anticipate there?
Yeah, I am kind of looking forward to seeing how we respond. After having a good weekend. But it's like I told the guys, we have not arrived. This is not the end game. Our goal is to continue and improve, continue to get better, and as I've said before, to maximize what this group is capable of, and we still have plenty that we need to grow into and continue to get better. But I do like their mindset. They have come back with, again, as they have all year, a very positive outlook towards practice and approach to it, that they're continuing to want to be coached and want to continue to get better. So that's great, and hopefully that means something on Friday.
After the Pitt game, you had some time in between games. Did you notice anything there that made you feel better about a response? And then the second time, really short turnaround between the second and third game in there. Did you see similar positives there in the bounce back?
Yeah, I think you learn from losing. You don't like to, but you'd rather learn from winning. But you also can learn from winning too. And as you said, that they did get some positive reinforcement from a couple good wins down in the Bahamas. But those things only matter if you can carry it over and continue to play at a high level and recognize what led you to those outcomes. And if you can continue to do that, you can repeat it. But there are certain things that have to happen for us to put ourselves in those positions.
Talk about the makeup of Small a little bit, to play as many minutes as he did and to accomplish what he did. And then even in the last game when he didn't have those same kind of numbers, he had the same kind of a performance, I think. Yeah,
I thought he had a great 3 days. Even the last game, you go 14-8. That's still a pretty solid night. What I love about Javon is he's just about winning. That's all he cares about. And some nights it means he may need to get 30. Some nights it may mean he gets 8 to 10, but has 6-7 assists, and that's all he cares about. That's why I love him as a player. He's all bought in to just trying to have a great year for not only for himself but for this team and as we get things started here.
Does he rub off on everybody else, or is this a team that's just gritty?
I think the team itself takes on that identity. I mean, we've tried to make that a priority to recognize that we need to play that way to have success, and I think a lot of the guys are really bought into that, and he's certainly one of them.
With Javon, so obviously some of the guys you brought in from the portal came with connections, like Amani and Sincere with Chester, and obviously your son with you. Was there a connection with Javon previously, and as far as bringing him in here, if there wasn't a relationship there? So you got to find out a lot about him quick, and obviously it must have been all good information. For you guys to sign him and everything.
Yeah, I mean his numbers stood out, and then as you watch his film and things, like he's just such a talented player. He's actually worked really hard this offseason. He had gotten kind of bigger, and was playing a little heavier. It was just muscle, but we actually wanted to go the other direction when we got him and slim him down. So, but what you saw when he was last year as a player is exactly what we thought we wanted to come be kind of our lead guard, and because he can score and he can facilitate, and he's got a great feel for the game.
You had to go out and get? I mean, there wasn't any previous connections, or
there's a guy on our staff that was on their staff the previous year at Oklahoma State, so that's where the connection started.
Where would you rate Tucker's performance against Arizona from others? I mean, best you've ever seen? Just another day for him? Where would you put that?
I mean, it was up there. Yeah, I mean, it's anytime you get knocked down 8 threes in a game, it's one of your better performances. There's no, but that's certainly something that he's capable of doing. That was he was able to get a few clean ones off, and then started feeling good about himself. Just started testing the waters a little bit on how far back he could shoot them.
From the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's like a lot of shooters, scorers. Like when you see one or two go in, and you can get into that zone, and that's then it's just a matter of like keep them in it as long as you can.
Hal was obviously shown he can shoot the ball. He struggled a bit in Bahamas. Just curious what you said to him, and was it a matter? I mean, it seemed like he had mostly good looks that just didn't fall, and several that were in and out throughout the trip.
Yeah, he's a really good shooter. It's part of basketball. You're going to have a 2-3 game stretch sometimes where they just don't go. You're going to have 2-3 games where you have a night like Tucker did, and you're going to make everything, and that's just part of it. Like I talked to him, after the games. It's like the biggest thing is like making missing shots. You can't let that bother you. Don't let it impact the rest of your game. That's going to help us win and lose a game. You can go 0 for 6 and we can still win as long as you're still rebounding, still defending, and all that stuff. And that's the biggest thing, especially for a young player, is not to get too caught up in just the results of, especially when it's making and missing shots. And then he did that. He continued to stay involved and tried to defend. Gave us great effort. He just missed. That's part of it. And hopefully Friday, that's the night they go back in. But they will. He's a good shooter. He's put in the work. The work always pays off.
Kind of curious. You got, obviously, Amani's had a lot of really good moments. Tucker, Javon's had a ton of great ones. Is Toby maybe the most unsung guy right now in your lineup?
Yeah, I thought this weekend he was incredibly valuable. I mean, Javon and Tucker and even Amani got a lot of the accolades, but I thought Toby was terrific, very efficient, and Toby's really trying to adjust his game to kind of fit what this team needs, and he's done an unbelievable job of that, especially these last couple of weeks of where can he be most effective, and right now he's shooting it at a high rate from 3. He's doing a great job of putting himself in position to rebound. He's screening for other guys, which is not only getting them open but also himself, and then defensively he's so versatile for us because he can guard 1 through 5 and has great length, and then can go get a ball, defensive rebounding and things.
Corner 3 is that's what's going to maybe determine his future, being able to hit that shot, moving on in his career.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. Toby can shoot it, he's shooting it at a high rate right now. I think he's really confident in that, and I think the other things like we've talked to him about, defend, rebound, those type of things, and then the offensive piece. That's another addition to it. But be great at those other things, first, and then the shooting and things like that's. He's going to knock those down. So I just think he's really bought in right now and doing a really good job with a lot of different areas for us.
Going back to earlier about the team and rebounding, you said there are certain things that have to happen to put yourselves in those positions. But mentally, is it just X and O's in the game? What are you talking about there?
Rebounding piece.
Okay.
On the rebounding piece, is that what you asked?
Yeah. When I was asking about like bouncing back from losses, whatever, but you said to be consistent. I never followed up, but just are there basketball things? Is it how you approach the game? Is it just core issues for you all?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, there were some things X's and O's wise that we needed to fix a little bit, which I think the guys again have done a good job of. I think Toby's done a better job of moving himself around and helping not only get himself open but other people. But I think more importantly, some of the core things that you talked about that we have to be good at. Shot selection in terms of just our movement and how we get into those shots, the rebounding piece, and then the turnovers. But the number one thing for us every single day is defensive rebounding and taking care of the basketball. Those two areas, if we're not good at it, we're not winning. If you're good in those two areas, you give yourself a chance every night. What's that?
What's the prediction for tonight's game?
I just hope the Packers show up, It's a Lions win. I mean, it's like a bye week every week,
Did you grow up a Lions fan? Or obviously the family tie we understand, but when you were 10 before your brother got there.
Yeah, no, probably not.
A team closer to you?
I was actually, I hate to say this publicly, but it was a mess over here. I was still am a Steelers fan, so I got two teams. I got the Lions and the Steelers. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.